From Mother's Day this weekend to graduation, this is a big time of year for big family events, including those dreaded posed photos. Photographer Megan Peters joins us this morning with tips and tricks for getting the perfect picture. Thanks so much for being here.
No problem.
Okay, so we're at a big event. When is the right time to get that big group photo of everyone?
Sure. And you have to basically designate someone to be the annoying family member that makes everyone do it.
Okay.
But you should do it at the beginning of the event.
When everyone looks
When everyone looks good. You don't have to go looking for where people are.
Right.
Maybe kids haven't eaten yet, because that's always a big one. And then that way too it's done. And you can just enjoy your event, enjoy your time with friends, and you don't have to worry about it later on.
So just wrangle them up at the beginning.
And you know what? People are going to be annoyed. That's okay. They'll be happy when they have the photo later. I think that's always something you have to deal with, is people going, oh, I just want to enjoy the event. I don't want to worry about this. But later when they have that family photo, especially at these big events like a graduation where you might have people together that aren't together all year, or maybe for a couple years. So it's important to capture that.
Okay, and when you can control what people wear, how should people dress?
I think the biggest thing is just to tell people to dress as neutrally as possible. Like maybe pick 3 colors, like a navy, a white, a denim, something like that.
Okay.
You can also tell people if they really want to get funky with it, throw in some accessories, you know, necklaces, scarves. You just want to stay away from super loud patterns.
Right.
Because then, you know, you never know what someone's going to show up in. If you give people less options, they're probably going to go outside of that anyway.
Right.
So that's what I always recommend to people, is to kind of stick with some neutral tones. And if they want to throw in something kind of fun, to throw it in with a scarf or a necklace or something like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the actual location, where should you be taking the photos?
Sure. If there's any way to take them outside, that is the best place, especially if it's just like someone's hanging out, a family member's going to take the camera and take it. When you're taking photos with a flash with a big group, that can be kind of tricky. So the best option is to find a shaded spot, somewhere where there's not direct light shining in everybody's faces, so you're not squinting, you're not worrying about all of that, eyes closed, that sort of thing. In one of those photos up there, that was actually a family photo of my family. We just found a shaded area of a garden and put everybody in there. So even though it was the middle of the day, the harshest light of the day, it still looked really great.
Okay, and then should the photos be posed or should you be candid?
You know what? That's kind of up to you and up to your family. I like to start with them being posed, because they're going to end up being candid anyway, especially if you have little kids. The biggest thing that I always say is to the adults don't worry about the kids. You just look at the camera, because whoever is taking the photo is going to be focusing on getting the kids to look at them and smile. And if you're nudging your kid and saying, be quiet, stop doing that,
you look like the mean parent in the photo.
And it's also going to stress out your kid. Your kid's not going to look real natural. So I just say, all the parents, look at me and don't worry about the kids. And usually you end up with a pretty good mix of posed and candid.
I love that. And what about cameras? Like, what kind of camera should we be using?
Sure. So if you have the availability of a nicer camera, a DSLR, or something like that, I suggest using that, because then it's easier to manipulate. It just captures the light a little bit better. But you know what? I always say the best camera is the one you have with you.
So
if you have an iPhone, you know what? If everyone's there and that's all you got, don't stress out about it. Just use what you have.
It's better than nothing.
Exactly.
Capture those memories.
Exactly.
Megan, thanks so much for being here. Some really great tips. A lot of photos are going to be taken in the next few weeks.
Yes.